This little video is going to try and explain to you why it's essential you look after your pinion bearing. Pinion bearing, this one here. Also, carrier bearings, these here on each side. Now the pinion bearing at the front here holds the end of the pinion and can be destroyed very, very quickly with either a stuck UJ or a stuck slider. And the head bearing here holds the back end of the pinion in place. And if we go around here and you see inside, there's the pinion, and if that moves up and down, it will actually wear the crown wheel and the pinion, crown wheel, it will wear at a strange angle. Similarly, if these carrier bearings get worn, or this journal in here that it sits on spins round so that the bearing is a loose fit, it will allow it all to wobble about, and again you'll get a strange situation. Now what we had here was a build that took us all day. This is a very, very early Land Rover split nose casing. This has a bigger pinion bearing at the front and the back. It's been specially pegged. It's got a second-hand ash locker, which we've tab locked and high flowed and done everything to. We've built it up beautifully, and we've put it in a case with a second-hand 3.5 heavy-duty Ashcroft crown wheel and pinion. Now, we bought this in second hand from a customer who wanted to do a ratio change. He'd bought the diff in from someone else, but it was one of our builds, so we knew the pinion had been set up properly and we thought we'd not have a problem. Unfortunately, the customer that owned it before didn't look after it, and probably nearly every single bearing in the case was knackered. This was allowing the pinion and the bearing to actually move at strange angles, and it doesn't take very long for these crown wheel and pinions running out of the position they should be to do serious damage. And when we'd finished building it, we got the weirdest blue check we've ever seen ever. The silver is where the pinion is not touching the crown wheel at all, and the blue is where it is. And that basically means it's scrap, because the crown wheel and pinion now cannot mesh properly. That is why it's essential, A, not to use cheap bearings. Use Timken, SKF, NTN or Koyo, and second, use proper EP90 thick oil. Also change your oil regularly, use a GL4 or a GL5 EP90, not 8090 or 8590, they're too thin. And also look after it, and as soon as the pinion bearing starts going, get it changed, because otherwise you've got £250 worth of scrap crown wheel. Now, although there is a print, this is, or would have been, pretty much a top of the range second-hand unit to go on the web shop. We cannot sell it because I'll show you why. So here's the ash locker. I'm now going to lock it. It is now locked, and you'll see why we can't sell it. That noise would drive anyone mad. And the other direction. And that's all because of a knocked out pinion bearing and a spun carrier bearing that's reduced a perfectly good looking crown wheel to scrap and a day's work straight in the bin while we decide what earth we're going to do. But we can't let this one out. But there you go. Change your oils regularly and check your pinion bearing. This unit at the front here, you should not be able to move it up or down or in and out at all. If you do, you're going to damage your pinion and your crown wheel. Bye for now.